final speaker will be giving his icebreaker from the Presentation Mastery Pathway. The speech is titled Introduction to Electric Motors. And Vince, I know you were offended last week about the big font, but I got a big font too, so don't be offended for the introduction. Here's the intro. Greg is going to do his icebreaker speech on electric motors. They come in all different shapes and sizes in a variety of applications. Just look around. They're closer than you think. Please help me welcome Greg for his talk on Electric Motors 101.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's pretty much what I do. I've been in industrial sales for over 30 years, and in the last 10 years, electric motors. I'd like to share with you a little bit about electric motors. There's been several anecdotal stories out there where you've just been nightmares on selecting the correct motor. So let's talk a little bit about the motors. And thank you, Renee. Perfect timing. So electric motors. I like to bring it closer to home so we can kind of understand and be more relatable of where you might see electric motors around your home, around your business. So just start shouting out some numbers. If you were to think how many electric motors you would find currently in your home today, what do you think you'd find? I mean, how many?
100.
100.
40.
2. Okay.
My house about 300.
300. All right. Well, let's take a little deeper dive. You're closer than you think, but those are some pretty good answers. So here we got here are your appliances. Every single one of those appliances has an electric motor. And what does a motor do? It takes electric power and converts it into mechanical power and mechanical energy. How many of you guys have a ceiling fan? We're talking in probably every bedroom, right? Who knows computers? Regine, what is that right there?
Computer fan.
There we go. Carries a motor. How about this one right here? Who has a condenser? Right? Some homes have 2 condensers. There's your condenser motor. Your small little bathroom fans. So wherever you are, at home, wherever you look, you're going to find motors. Wherever has a swimming pool, there's a swimming pool motor that's on your pump. So wherever you look, there are motors. This one here is on the blower side of your air conditioner. So on the outside, you have your condenser fan motor, and on the inside is where you have your blower motor. So now let's bring it more into the industrial application. So here we are, for example, on the industrial in a mining application, you would have a large sag mill, and that's where they'll drop the ore, and there's large ball bearings in there that crush the ore so they can work the process. Here you can see you got some pumps here, another mining motor there. This one here is affluent pump, where you're going to find with your water, wastewater treatment. So they're all over the place. And motors are once you understand them, once you know the right questions to ask, then you can make the right selection for the application. This one here is a cooling tower motor as well, and there's a blower motor. So let's get into the questions you ask and why you would ask those questions when selecting a motor. So selecting the right motor. First, you need to understand the application. So is it going to be a direct drive, or is it going to be valve driven? Understand the environment and the enclosure. Is it going to be outdoor in a dirty, wet environment, so the motor will have to be totally enclosed, fan cooled, or can it be open drip proof? Because interestingly enough, if you go back to the pool motor, you're thinking, boy, the pool motor is around a lot of water, but it's outdoors, yes, but it's open drip proof, so you can see that they have the openings at the bottom, so the rain won't enter through the side, so it's protected. These here are totally enclosed fan cooled, so those motors have a fan, an external fan, a part of the motor that cools the motor. Other questions, electrical. So typically in your home, you're single phase, 120 volt, 230 volt. In industrial, you're 3 phase, 460, 4160 volts. The duty cycle, how often is this motor gonna run? So your condenser fan motor and the air conditioner, on, off, intermittent. Motors don't like to start on, off, they like to run. Motors do best when they're just running. Required speed and torque and variable speed. Is this motor gonna run constant speed for, let's say 1800 RPMs all the time, or are you gonna vary the speed? How many of you guys have blenders at home? Right? So you can vary the speed. Your ceiling fans, you can vary the speed. And the mounting position. Mounting position is also very important. So this is just a small segment of what I'd like to do, maybe do some other modules where I can teach you a little bit more about motors and you can make the correct selection. Thank you.